Uh, but welcome. So let me do this before we officially get started. The other question that I always ask on our Monday night calls is I want to know, where is your energy? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I have no energy, it's been a crappy day, I'm ready for it to be over, to 10 is this has been the best day ever, I'm on cloud 10. Just drop your number. Naomi, so good to see you. Uh, all right. Yeah, just drop your number. We've got some eights, some sevens, some sixes. Uh, if you can't, drop your number. All right, 6, 7. Naomi, I'm so glad you're here, lady. How is Gary, Indiana? Courtney Craig, you're at a 10. Where on vacation?
On
I
vacation.
feel like I saw recently you're like on a beach or something. Um, so that is great. Okay. I'm gonna,
Laguna Beach.
oh, that's nice. Um, I I love Orange County. I'm not gonna lie about that. For those of you who are kind of in the fives and the six range, first of all, hopefully your day is going to get better. And my goal is to help your day get better. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. And of course, I'll have some slides in a little bit. But first, I want to know, drop a yes in the chat if 2025 has been a great year for you. All right. It looks like a lot of you have had great years. So let me ask you this. Drop in the chat a yes if you feel like 2025 can be even better, if it can get better for you. Just drop that in the chat. Yeah, Cheryl said she has had lots of ups and downs. So I definitely understand that. Um, Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate you for being here. Listen, there are so many places that you could be on a Monday night. And I know some of you are in the car, some of you are multitasking, some of you might be making dinner. But I want to just say congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. If you have not done that in a while, stop and do that because you literally could be doing anything else. And instead, what you decided was it was a good idea for you to take an hour and have a reset, to have a moment where you said, let me figure this out. 2025 can get better, even if it's already been great. And so you are here. And listen, ladies, I just want you to know that I am exactly like you. I am an entrepreneur. I have been an entrepreneur now for almost 10 years. I have had ups and downs. I have had years that have been amazing. I have had years that have been terrible. And I have doubted myself. I have needed resets more times than I can count. And so I'm totally like you. I'm a student and I'm a learn. And what I want to do is take the things that I've learned and be able to help you out. And thank you to whoever just said this, that I have a lovely blouse on. This is a dress actually that I got. I spoke in West Palm Beach a couple of months ago at a family office event, and I bought this pretty dress for myself. So, um, let me ask you this. Would you like a few tips and tools that could potentially help make your 2025 even better? Drop a yes in the chat if that is something that you are interested in. Okay, very good. Awesome. Fonda just said teeth. Uses. Okay, big yes. All right, I love it. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Caytie Langford. I am the founder of Trailblazers. Over the last 10 years, I have coached thousands of women across the globe, mostly 6 and 7 figure earners. And the results of that have been businesses built, businesses scaled. There have been promotions in the C-suite and at the director level, at the VP level. But most of all, there have been women who have had increases in confidence, increases in clarity, more movement towards what it is that they love to do. And a few years ago, I got into real estate investing full time. I've been a real estate investor since 2010. I've done everything from long-term rentals to short and mid-term rentals. We have done multiple flips. We've owned some commercial projects. And my husband decided in 2023, after he sold his business, that he was going to go full-time in this. He said to me, come hang out with me, come raise money, because prior to being a coach, I actually was a nonprofit fundraiser and raised over $35 million and led fundraising teams. And so I jumped right in and said, yes, I would love to do that. Now, why does that matter? We're going to talk in a minute about the things that you need to focus on when you need a reset. And these are the common things that I have seen over and over and over when it comes to women and men, because there used to be a time when I coached men, about what you need to be focusing on. And so while I got into real estate investing in 2023 to raise capital, you're going to hear a little bit about my shift and what I am doing now. But my goal for you this evening is that you get value out of this call. I want you to maybe see a shift that you need to take. You might realize or learn something else. And then the other thing that I want you to do is for some of you, you're going to want more help beyond just tonight. So I'm going to tell you about what we do in Trailblazers. And if that's an opportunity you want to learn more about, I'll tell you more about that. But let me ask, can you do me one more favor? And that favor is I am pretty excited and amazed. 28 women, 28 of you decided that you were going to show up tonight. And I know that this is a free call. This is just something that popped up on your schedule. Maybe you saw it in Trailblazers or you saw it on my own social media, or maybe a friend brought you. And what's fascinating to me is you absolutely could be on a call in a coaching program that is $30,000. And yet, when we're on a free call, sometimes we tend to act in a certain way around it. But if we were in a $30,000 mentorship, which I know some of you are because I know the women in this group, some of you are in other mentorships that are $30, $40, $50,000. And if you were on one of those calls, you might show up differently. You might actually take different notes. You might pay attention differently. You might shut out anything that could bother you. And so the only thing that I ask from you is that you give this same call tonight the same way you would if this was a $30,000 call. Because if you thought it was a $30,000 call, you'd be like, oh my gosh. So will you just drop a yes in the chat if you're open to doing that and open to being here tonight? Awesome. Awesome, ladies. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to share my slides with you. And oh my gosh, look at that. I actually was prepared to share them fairly quickly. Oh, no, then I hit the wrong thing. All right. For those of you who have been on some of my calls before, you might know sometimes I'm a little technologically challenged, but we always get through it. And if I could ask, feel free to drop trust questions in the chat. We're going to have questions at the end. But if you have them while we're going through, feel free to do that as well. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Um, Naomi, I love that you just said you've bribed the kids into not bothering you, and that you're in the backyard. So let's do this. What we're going to talk about tonight is 3 challenges that I see over and over with myself, with other women, with other entrepreneurs. I've also been married to an entrepreneur for 20 years. Now, the number one challenge that I see is when people are trying to build a business that doesn't fit. And some of you who are Disney people, you might recognize that this is one of Cinderella's stepsisters who is trying to cram her foot into the glass slipper, but it is not fitting. And what this can look like for us as entrepreneurs, it can look like we feel like we're doing all of the right things, right? We've gotten the downloads, we've sat in the courses, we've listened to everything, but for some reason it's just not fitting. It can also look like and feel really off. And then the worst part about it is that you secretly can dread parts of your business. And I just want to know, drop a me in the chat if you have ever had this challenge or even are having this challenge around what you're building right now just doesn't, it's not working, it's not fitting. No, everyone is fitting. My gosh. Okay. I love that Cheryl says I'm working on it. Oh, Amanda said it's working, but I want something else. Cece says, I love doing some aspects, but not all. Cece, you're jumping ahead. We're going to get there in a minute. Megan, or as we call her, Magnificent, says she's still trying to make things work. Yeah, absolutely. So the first challenge that we have to overcome is building a business that doesn't fit us. And I will just tell you that, as I shared a minute ago, I've been an entrepreneur now for almost a full decade. And one of the businesses that I tried building between 2020 and 2022, I thought was the right thing. I thought I took the right partner and I thought that I was doing the right things. But what I realized was that it didn't fit. And specifically, this feeling part that felt off. And when I talk about when it feels off, I mean you're either saying something to yourself in your head or maybe your stomach is hurting. Anybody ever get the Sunday scaries? I know that I absolutely have gotten the Sunday scaries. Naomi, you're saying you need to gain some momentum, but things aren't seeming to flow. Yes. Okay. So when we have this challenge of the business that we're trying to build doesn't fit, what we mean is it doesn't fit you. Drop yes in the chat if you are in other real estate investing mentorships or programs. Yeah, a lot of you are. I mean, look how many of you are. And that is amazing and it's wonderful. And I am too. I'm in several different mentorships and I'm learning what it is that they are teaching. The challenge comes is that they typically teach you how to build what fits them. Excuse me for just 1 second while I cough.
It's, you're all so close to the line.
If you don't mind muting yourself, that would be excellent. Um, okay, so what is it that you need to do when you hit this challenge? What we need to do to realign is we need to spot when shoulds are sneaking into our strategy, right? So when we say, well, I see other people flipping, so I should do that. Or other people are having success with wholesaling, so I should wholesale and dispo. When maybe you think, actually, the part about wholesaling that I really love is just the dispo. So the number one thing you need to do is you need to understand that when shoulds pop up, a should is a big giant red flag because it means you're out of alignment. The next thing you can do is you can ask yourself that magic wand, what would I build if I didn't care what anyone thought? I will tell you, several years ago, I thought that I could only work with corporate women. I had come from corporate America and I was coaching women specifically on how to get promotions, and I hated it. I was so burnt out. I helped over 300 women get new jobs, and I didn't think that I could shift. I didn't think I could realign, or as my Trailblazers method women call me, the queen of the pivot. So I want to ask you, what would you build if you didn't think anyone, if you didn't care? Or you could even say, what would you build if you didn't care what anyone thought? All right, this is a stopping action point, and I want you to just jot down, what would you build if you didn't care what anyone else thought? And feel free, once you've jotted that down, if you want to share that, drop that in the chat. Sade just said, that is a good question. Yeah, lady. Courtney says, I already love what I built. The issue is how big it has become and how only 2 people run it. Courtney, we are going to get there in just a minute. I hear someone and I cannot find you. So if you have not muted, please mute
Oh,
yourself.
shit. Sorry.
That's all right, lady.
Hopefully I'm muted. I hope I'm muted. Am I muted?
No, still not muted.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. I don't even know who you are yet.
It's Majida. Y'all have a good y'all. I'm sorry. I
You're-
appreciate what y'all doing.
You're fine, lady. Okay. An affordable new home developer, right? That is so needed. What else? What would anyone else do? Alicia says a women's in transition accelerator that will provide for women in need and access to resources. Yes, lady, that is something that you and I just talked about last week. Megan, my thing is new opportunities pop up and wondering if I should take it and see if that helps me expand. Megan, lady, you are doing so much, and I think you need to do less. That's probably something we need to talk about soon. So this is one way. Tabitha says, I really just want to build a rental portfolio that I can live off of. Absolutely. Rachel says, I want to keep growing my buy and hold business. Perfect. So when you are feeling these shoulds, when you're not thinking that things are going the way you want, you need to stop and ask yourself, what would I build? Then the next step is you actually got to go and do that thing, right? Every single one of you that dropped something in the chat, you can absolutely do that. Tabitha, you can build a rental portfolio, right? Megan, we're going to talk about the opportunities that come your way. Amor, did I say it right or did I say it wrong again, lady? Will you tell me how
You
to
said
say
it right.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that when I get that right. An affordable new home developer. There are ways that that can happen, right? Alicia, that transitional home that you want to build, it is there. It can happen, right? Courtney, there is a way to grow your business beyond just those 2 people. Is it Pua? Did I say that right?
Pua.
Pua. Okay.
Pua.
Pua. This can happen. So what you've got to do is figure out exactly what it is that you want and then start working towards that. Now, sometimes though, when we start working towards something, we actually lose trust. And what this can look like, what this can feel like is you are stuck in second guessing mode. Maybe you're spiraling before decisions. I will tell you that this is a staircase from the Vatican. And I don't know about y'all, but if you've ever been on one of these staircases, this is what it feels like. You're just spiraling, but you're not really going anywhere. The last thing that it can look like for most of us is that we hold ourselves back and we know it. Drop a me in the chat if any of these things actually look like you. Rachel says, this is me right now. Courtney says, analysis paralysis. Pua says, me. Amanda, me. Sabrina, me. Cheryl, this is you. Is it Chanda? Caitlin, Naomi. Yeah, this is me too. The thing that we don't talk about when we level up, so let's say instead of spiraling down, we were spiraling up. We still get to the place where we start to second guess, we start to spiral, we start holding ourselves back because we're questioning what it is that we are doing. We're questioning, are we worthy? Can we do it? Right? So here is how we can stop that. And that is by reclaiming our confidence. And one of the number one ways that I teach women how to do this is by building what we call the confidence resume. It is your social proof of things that you have done in the past. The way you do that is you anchor back to your identity when you have been a powerful decision maker, when you have done the thing. And here's what's cool about reclaiming your confidence. Your confidence is something that is internal. So I want to ask you, we're going to stop here and want you to get out your pen and paper again, pick that pen back up. And I want you to jot down, when was the last time that you felt unstoppable and what were you doing? Courtney says, when we hit 2 million year to date. That is awesome. For those of you who might not know this, only 9% of businesses ever get to 7 figures annually. And only 1.9% of women-owned businesses get to 7 figures. So Courtney, your woman-owned business, your construction company did $2 million. You are in the 1.9% of business owners. Caitlin says, when your first 2 flips went pending within 48 hours of each other. That's amazing. Amanda just said, you have no idea. Amanda, do you mind if I call on you for a second?
Sure.
Okay. All right. I want you to close your eyes.
Okay.
And I want you to think of something that was so badass that you made happen. Maybe it was something that you were scared to do or anxious or nervous about, but you did it anyway. Do you have that thing?
I do a lot of things, but none of them make me feel that way.
Oh. Yeah, tell me more about that if you would.
Okay.
You're in a safe space.
So I'm aggressively a go-getter. Like if people
Yeah.
say it can't be done, I will find the way. And so I think that maybe the problem more is that I'm just never satisfied
Yep.
when I do something.
Do you celebrate your wins?
No,
Do you consider when you do things well a win?
no.
Okay. Do you always look at it and go, oh, I could have done this differently, so it would have been better?
Maybe not that, but if I did something well once, I think, great, let's do it well 10 times. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is something you did great in the last month?
Make a lot of money.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
business is
awesome.
good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it sounds to me like you never learned how to celebrate the good things.
That's probably true.
Are you a perfectionist
Um,
or recovering?
no, I'm actually a good enough kind of person, but I'm always I think I'm never present and I'm always looking ahead.
Yeah. Do you know what your strengths finders, your Clifton strengths finders top 5 are?
Oh, I do have them. I don't know them off the top of my head.
Yeah. So Cheryl just
Are-
dropped in the chat that she totally gets what Amanda is saying, as she feels the same way. And listen, oh, you have significance. That's why. Okay. This makes total sense to me because people who have significance, um, yeah, I mean, do you have this deep down belief that something like you are supposed to do something big or creative or different? Yeah. So you just haven't gotten there yet.
Right.
So what we need to teach you is how do you count the steps in between now and the significant thing? Because people with significance will do something big. It's just what it is. Yeah. Courtney just said, it's depressing because I'm never happy. Yep. Totally get it. 100%. Pua, this is called your Clifton Strengths Finders. It's a tool we use inside the Trailblazers method. It's a tool that I've been using since I was an executive. So in my fundraising days, I was the number 2 person at a 100-person organization, and it is phenomenal. Sade, significance is in your top 5 as well. That is amazing. Okay. So there's just a couple of things. And one of the things, Amanda, is you got to start counting your wins. You got to start tracking them. And this is a way to reclaim your confidence. It's like when you track your macros, it's the same thing. It's not when you do it once, it's when you do it over and over and over. Naomi, we're going to talk about that test in a minute. But yes, I highly recommend. Did anyone else want to share or drop in the chat the last time they felt unstoppable and what it was that they were doing? Amanda, thanks for being vulnerable, lady, and sharing that with us. I actually think that you have big, cool stuff that you've got to do. Do you feel like you're aligned with what you're doing?
More recently, yes.
Okay. All right. Naomi, you can share. Go for it, lady.
I mean, it's not a big deal, but it kind of turned out to be, invigorating and giving me that boost.
Okay.
But I was looking online and I came across this post that was offering a free document to help protect yourselves in connector relationships and JVs and things like that. And I had just gotten kicked in the teeth for the first time this year with a partnership before the second time, but I just got kicked in the teeth. And I was like, okay, let me get this document. For some reason, this took me to a Calendly link, and I wind up getting a phone call from the assistant to David Meltzer.
Oh, wow.
Right. Trey Bizarre,
That's
right?
a big deal.
This is a big deal, but I didn't even know who David Meltzer was. I had no
Yeah.
idea who he was, right? And
Yeah.
so this is a Monday. I find this link. Wednesday was the call, and life right in the midst of it. My ringer was off. I missed the call. I wound up calling back, and David wasn't available anymore.
Yeah.
But I wound up having a good conversation with his assistant. I still went with it. I still brought the vigor and, the enthusiasm to the call. And he says, you may not be fit for the mentorship right now, but, I think you're somebody that David would still like to know. I was like, oh, okay. And so he gives me David's cell phone number. Trey
That
Bizarre.
does not
Trey
happen.
Bizarre. So I'm like, okay, I still don't know who this is yet. And so I Google him after I get off the call, and I'm like, whoa, I missed this guy's phone call. Oh, I am kicking myself. But then it just so happened that he was going to have a meetup that Friday in
Uh-huh.
Chicago, which is 30
Oh,
minutes.
yeah. I saw
right?
that.
Right. And so it's 30 minutes drive, but my vehicle got repossessed earlier this year as part of my journey. And so the buses don't run like that in Gary. And his meeting is at 8 a.m. at the hotel lobbies,
Yeah.
at the airport, right? So that's very far from me. That's like a 3-hour, 4-hour trip. And and nothing's gonna get me there at that time of day. So I'm figuring stuff out, right? I find a friend who's willing to loan me a vehicle to get me a ride to the train station. And I don't know if this is even real. Like I'm wondering, am I getting catfish? Because like, why the heck am I meeting David Meltzer, right?
So what happened? What's the punchline, lady?
Girl, I get there and it's David Meltzer, and
Yeah.
it's only me and one other person.
Oh my God, nobody else came.
Nobody else. It was 7 a.m. You changed the time to 7 a.m. and changed the location to a downtown hotel, which allowed me to get there. And so now it's just me and this girl. And she's really sweet, but she had no vision. You could tell she's at the beginning of her journey.
Yeah.
And I basically had him to myself for an hour.
Oh my
And
God.
for every question or every bottleneck that I discussed, he gave me a contact, just like that. And I'm like, this is what it is to be a person of resource, right? To get
Yeah.
into these rooms. And so long story short, we he gave me some contacts that are
Yeah.
going to help me in the Gary Project, that are going to help me to serve veterans and seniors. And so I felt unstoppable in that moment because
Yeah.
I accidentally pocket dialed him the next day, and he sent me a text message back. It was like, hey, I'm in the thing. I'll call you right back. And I was like, dude, I didn't even need to call you. Why are
Oh
you
my
responding?
gosh.
So yeah, I definitely felt unstoppable in that moment. And
I
he gave
love
me a free
that.
book. So
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, he does carry those books like it's his business card.
yeah.
Congrats. I will say, right? Like this, so some of you may have heard, oh, she met this great guy. For those of you who don't know him, he's very successful, but he built a business and then he lost hundreds of millions of dollars. He was business partners. If you've ever seen the movie Jerry Maguire, he was business partners with the guy who that Tom Cruise plays. Anyways, but here's what I heard that I want everyone else to hear. The way you grew your confidence is because you did the thing you didn't think you could do. Right?
Absolutely.
You got yourself in the room. You had the conversation. You shared the vision. Sometimes you get yourself in the room and not actually share the vision, right? Not actually say, here's what I'm doing in Gary, Indiana, and here's how I want to change lives, right? So when we think about our past confidence, the way we reconnect with it is we look to see what are those things where we did it even though it was hard, even though it was scary, even though we were nervous. And that is how we go from being not trusting of ourselves to being confident. I will tell you, ladies, total transparency. You'll always get transparency from me. I do not sugarcoat anything. I am super excited about this call because some of you are the right people for our Trailblazers method mastermind. And some of you are going to want to hear more. And this morning, I was so full of, I can't do this. It's not working. Why am I doing this? Oh my gosh, I'm not worthy. And I sat down and I reminded myself why I do this work because I truly believe in helping women, because I believe that each and every single one of you have big, bold things that you've got to accomplish. And I believe that I've been given gifts to be able to help. So sometimes the way we reclaim our confidence is by looking back to where we've been. Now let's get to challenge number 3, which several of you have already said it down here. Pua, you said it. Courtney, you said it. You're carrying it alone, or you're carrying it with too few people. When you see the picture of the chick wearing all the hats, drop a me in the chat if you're like, that's me. Sabrina just said yes, yes, and yes. Amor said yes. Kaylin, Alicia. Is it Chanda? Is that how I say your name? Caitlin, that's me. Mary.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right. Rachel, that's me, and I don't want it to be. Yes. Crystal, I have a few extra hats on my head, but still you've taken some of them off. Yes. And the truth is, when you are an entrepreneur, you are going to be wearing a lot of hats. And then you're going to grow your business and you're going to start wearing a lot more hats because they're going to be different hats. And then you're going to get more people and they're going to, right? But you're constantly going to have this. As Naomi says, it is definitely time for me to build a team. And what this looks like when you're carrying it all alone is you're wearing all the titles, CEO to janitor, or you're a bottleneck. If you do have a team, maybe some of you are the bottleneck. My husband used to do this in his business. He had team members and he would come home and he was working 70 hours a week. And finally I looked at him and I said, do you pay someone to do this? He was like, oh, that's great. But number 3 is exhausted. I've coached a lot of corporate clients and I've coached a lot of entrepreneurs. The exhaustion is the one that when we know it's bad. Exhaustion looks like depression, overwhelm. I can't get out of bed. Exhaustion looks like my heart rate is up. I've gained weight. My sex drive is down, right? My exhaustion looks like a lot of things. And I will tell you, the reason I left my chief development officer role 10 years ago was because I was exhausted. And the exhaustion put my blood pressure in the danger zone. But I didn't know it because I was ignoring it. Some of you are carrying things all alone. And so because you're doing that, you might not even see it. And you might be like me when you go to the dentist and the hygienist takes your blood pressure and she says, what the hell is wrong with you? I should send you to the ER. So what happens when you're carrying it all alone? What you've got to do is call in your who's. Now, in Trailblazers method, we actually teach that there are 5 different kinds of who's. A lot of people in real estate investing just think there's one, which is I'm going to get a partner and everything will be solved. Drop me in the chat if you've ever gotten a partnership in real estate investing and then it's gone sideways. Yep. Yeah, just look at all those me's. Yeah, because here's what happens. We go to an event, we go to a meetup, we go to a conference, and we meet this other cool person, woman, man, whatever. And we're like, oh my gosh, you're so cool. And then we get into a partnership. And then it doesn't work. Whereas Courtney just says, my partnership is great, but we step on each other's toes. Right. Partnerships stepping on each other's toes. So one of the ways or 2 of the ways that you can do this to discover your who's and how to get them is you've got to look at and audit your energy. What tasks are you doing that are not in your genius? As we all just saw, Amanda dropped her top 5. What your top 5 for your Clifton strengths, that is your genius. That is what you are supposed to be doing, right? So if we go back to Amanda's, man, I'm going to scroll up here. Significance, command, arranger, focus, strategic. Let me tell you what those top 5 tell me. Amanda, if you are doing day-to-day minutia instead of casting a vision and getting others on board with it, you're probably exhausted. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah, because your top 5 are not meant for you to be in day-to-day crap. Now, it doesn't mean the work is crap. It just means that you're not aligned to it. There are other people that if I saw their top 5, They would be amazing and wonderful at it. And so what we've got to do is define our zone of brilliance. And then you delegate the rest. And you don't just delegate it through a partner, but again, we have 5 different people that you call in that you could potentially delegate to. So I want you to write down, pick up your pen again, and I want you to write down what's one task that you're holding on to in your business that does not need your brilliance. Amanda, your day-to-day is running everyone, girl. Okay. You're turning red because you know that that's not the right thing. Also, so many people, admin work, paperwork. There's a lot. Ordering materials for the contractors, doing the marketing. Majida, I'm not a systems and process person. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Caitlin Beals, who's on the call, Caitlin is my right-hand woman inside Trailblazers. And I am really great at casting a vision. I'm really great at coaching. You know what I'm not great at? Keeping the train on the tracks. This morning, when I was freaking out, Caitlin and I got on a call because we do that every Monday at 12 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock her time Pacific. And we went through and she was like, okay, so here's the 4 things you need to do. And I was like, oh, because I was spinning my wheels because I couldn't narrow it down. So some of you just need someone else because it's her zone of genius to say, this is what you need to do. And it's my zone of genius to come up with lots of different creative ideas. Megan, making so many calls myself. Megan, I'm going to point you out right now. There's some work inside Method that you have not done that we need to go back and have you do. Right? So when you are able to reset, these are the things that you do, right? You look at your business and you say, what's feeling off for me? Where can I correct that? What am I doing that's not meant for me to do? What am I doing that I don't like doing that's not the business that I need to actually build? The thing that I find inside real estate investing more than anything else is people say to me, well, I'm building the business that fill in the blank of the name of the guru or educator. And I ask them, what about that business do they love? And they say, there's nothing. Right? So let me ask you this. Can you see yourself really getting clear with yourself, being honest with yourself, going back to the clarity that you need to do? Can you see yourself going back and reclaiming your confidence? And can you see yourself inviting other who's into your world? Is that something that you think you could do? For those of you who are not soccer fans, this is the U.S. women's national team. And is the last time that we won the World Cup a couple of years ago. And what I love about going from this to this is that this person does everything, and every single woman on this team has her brilliance and she knows where it is. Right? Alyssa Nair, who I don't know if you can see in the picture, is the goalkeeper for the U.S. national women's team, or she was, she just retired. She doesn't score. Right? So I want you to start thinking about that. So how many of you have gotten value already and seeing some ways that you can do things a little differently? Drop a me in the chat if that's you. Fan, so good to see you, lady. It's been so long. Awesome. Okay. How many of you, and drop me in the chat if you would like to learn a little bit more about how we help women consistently do this? And we specifically work in these areas of clarity and confidence and bringing in your who. Okay, so let's talk about that. I've been referring to Trailblazers method, and it is our mastermind. As I've told you, I've coached thousands of women across the globe. This is a program that has 5 pillars to it, and it is all about taking you and making you the strategy. We do not teach a specific real estate strategy. What we teach you is how to get really clear on the business that you want to build that fits you. So if you're like Amanda and you really should be doing big picture, but you're stuck in day to day, we would help you change that. Then we help you reclaim your voice and build that confidence. I'm actually a subject matter expert in helping women build confidence. I've done a TEDx talk all around it. And in fact, corporations and Fortune 500 companies pay me tens of thousands of dollars to go in and speak to their high performers about confidence. The next thing we do is we help you where the bottlenecking happens, right? Whether you can delegate to someone or you need to find the delegation. One of the blocks that we did not talk through is a revenue block. This week with our women, we are talking about pricing. How do you actually price your services, your products? And that includes your real estate stuff, right? And then our last pillar is all around taking action. So let me tell you a little bit more about that and what Trailblazers method looks like. So we do once a week, weekly group coaching calls with your cohort. That's where we go in. It's not online where you go and you do it by yourself. I actually walk you through and coach with you. We do hot seats, we give feedback. Once a week, we also have all access office hours. That's where you come, you ask questions. We specifically work on your power profile, which is your guided worksheets that you go through. Your cohort will have a group chat because what we've seen in this first cohort is these women like to do business together. We have a platform on school. And then one of the things we just added to the method this, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, is we have an AI tool and it's available to you 24/7. It has all of our content, my teachings, everything fed into the background, and it knows what's in your power profile. So this is the stuff that we work on, helping you get clear, build your confidence, your belief that you can actually build what you want, make the money that you want. We hold you accountable. This is how we do it. Now, these are the things that women in our community inside the method have been saying recently. And we have several of these women on the call today. Right? So everything from Dana saying that we helped her own her own goals. Stephanie, this was kind of a like side hobby and she wants to leave her W-2. We've actually put things in place for her to do it. Sabrina was giving things away for free. Now she has a product that she sells and she's making money from it. Kim Bailey wants to leave her W-2 job. She had no clue what she was doing. She was going to be a lender and then lost some money on bad deals. Now we are helping her pivot into what she actually wants. Fonda has said that this has helped her confidence grow. Right? And I love how she says this is one of the best investments that she's ever made for herself. So let me tell you a little bit more about the program and then what next steps look like. So for the program, for 1 full year of all of that, it is $4,900. Our founding rate for the first 5 women in this group will be $4,200 as a way to say thank you to them for making bold moves. We only take 15 spots, and any of the women who are in the current cohort will tell you. The reason why we are staying small is because I go deep into your business. When I look at these women, I know exactly what they're doing. I know what their strengths finders are. I know where they're having a challenge. If we had 100 women in the group, it couldn't work. So we only will take 15 women. Now, for some of you, you've already decided this is amazing. I'm ready to go. And for some of you, you may have questions. And so what I want to do is I've given you the QR code and I want you to book a call with me. It's in the next couple of days and we might need to open up a couple more spots. It is going to be a 30-minute call. Here's what you're going to get. Number 1 is I'm going to learn more about you and your business. Number 2, you're going to see how my coaching actually works. And then number 3, we're going to determine if you're a fit for this. So I want to open it up for questions now and see how else I can help you. Rachel, who leads the weekly meetings? Oh, Rachel. Yes, only me. I'm a little bit of a control freak. And yes, we can get you the link to set up the call. I'm going to stop sharing real fast, but I'll put this back up just so I can grab the link. What questions do you have, ladies? It can be about the program, the Trailblazers method. It can be about what is happening in how you get clarity, confidence. And feel free to come off mute.
Oh,
Hi.
hi. Okay, I guess one of my questions is, and I'll preface it with like a little bit of a statement, is one of my main concerns with signing up for like another program
Yep.
is because I haven't gotten a whole lot out of the ones I signed up for.
Yep.
And so I'm a little bit scared that like they're
Yeah.
all these people. They don't better some more people than others, but like
So Rachel, you cut out a little bit, and actually, Cheryl just raised her hand, and it's funny because I was gonna ask her to take this question. So lady, would you take this question for me?
Yeah, I can tell you, I have been spinning for years. Okay, I have a full-time W-2, but I've been wanting to do this real estate investing for years and years. And I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on joining different communities. And I am still working on my clarity, although it's almost 100% there. And I can tell you the difference. I think I would have continued to spin if I went to join Caitie's Trailblazers mentorship. It has, I can't even, I'm going to cry because I'm so emotional about this, but oh my gosh, I was completely lost. And I thought, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars and what am I doing? I truly was spinning. And it was like, oh, I'm going to join this group. Oh, I'm going to join that. Oh, I'm going to join this. And since I joined this mentorship, I mean, my mindset is so much different. I'm so much more positive. I mean, I have learned so much on why am I acting like this? Like, you know, the terror barrier that is just stuck in my head. It's like, you know what? Thanks for protecting me. I got this. Now go away. I mean, there's so many different things that she teaches you that these other communities aren't about. I honestly believe, and I'll just give you a little bit about my background. I've been a registered nurse for almost 34 years. Okay. When you go to college, they teach you things. I also have a master's in business administration. They teach you those things, but they don't teach you about mindset and about staying positive. And even though there's ups and downs and twists and turns, and you're going to make money and lose money and make money and lose money, whatever it may be, they don't teach you how to pretty much control your mindset so you can keep moving forward, so you can be successful at whatever that goal is in your life is. I mean, I can tell you in a personally, I use Caitie's method, basically her coaching, in my personal life as well, because I think they all intertwine. But I'm telling you, this has been worth every penny I have spent, where some of the other communities, I think I just kind of threw away my money. I'll be honest with you. So, and she teaches you that, you know, what do you want to do? And I just almost spent what? Almost
$6,500. Almost.
$7,000 joining another community. And she goes, "Oh, Cheryl, you're part of RPM. Watch the Tuesday call." And watch the Tuesday call, and instead of spending almost $7,000, I spent $1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I don't know. I absolutely love Caytie, and I love the group. Everybody has their highs and lows. Everybody's in their own space, right? But we all help each other out. And that's what's so great about this group too, is that it is very personal and it's a very safe place. Like, I get emotional, so I cry a lot. What can I say? I think I'm a tough person, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, Rachel, I really think you would be very pleased with it if you put the time into it. You have to put the time into it.
Yeah. Thanks, lady. I will say what is different about me and everyone else is, first of all, I'm actually a certified executive coach. So I know how to coach people. That's a big one. There's a lot of people out there that say they're coaches and they don't actually know what real coaching is like. Like, for example, Cheryl just talked about the terror barrier, which is a whole thing. But I know concepts and how to listen and how to ask questions. The second thing is this: we're not going to tell you what real estate strategy is the right thing for you. In fact, we partner with other real estate educators because that's not where we shine. My superpower is seeing things about women and showing it back to you in a way that you take this and make it your own. Like, I don't want you to have a business that you hate. I've had one of those. It fucking sucks. It sucks. It's terrible. And so what I want to teach you is, what is your greatness? How do you talk about it? How do you get really clear on what you want? And we do. I mean, it's work, and it takes, the reason it's a year-long program is because it's going to take a while to get you where you want to go. So that's just a little bit more. Ginger just asked, what do yours mean? Your top 5: achiever, futuristic, learner, activator, and focus. So achiever, lady, is the most common one. 43% of all people have achiever. And what it means is, if you put something on your to-do list, you're going to finish it typically that day. Futuristic is you're constantly thinking about what could potentially be. Learner is you're constantly gathering information. The cool thing about you is futuristic and activator are rarely together. So futuristic is what could be, and activator is ready, fire, aim. So you just go. So you might have a challenge though, going. And then focus is, you can not just focus, it's not like hyperactivity, but you can go deep into certain subjects. So I would imagine that, and Ginger, correct me if I'm wrong, you kind of can be all over the place. And like, you want to do a lot of different things. Is that true? Did I lose her? Oh. Amen. Super spot on. Yeah. Yeah. So what we have to do is figure out how to harness those to actually go forward in a way that makes sense for you, that you can make money in the way that you want to make money. All right. What other questions do you have? Caitlin dropped the link in the chat. So I'm going to take it off so that I can see you ladies. What other questions do you have? Yeah, you're welcome, Ginger. Again, this is just a tool that I've been using for so long. It's like my jam. In fact, we teach that when you add a who to your team, you have them take the Clifton Strengths Finders. It's $25. It's the cheapest assessment and it tells you so much. And I say that as someone who's also DISC certified. And that my cost for a DISC test is $300. All right. What other questions? Sabrina, what's up, lady?
So quick question, and thank you first and foremost for all this great information.
Ah.
So I took Clifton Strengths with my W-2 employer in actually 4 years to the date today. I just pulled it up, July 21st or 14th, 2021.
Nice.
Which I think is so ironic. But my question is, do I retake it? Because since then I've been in multiple roles. No, I've gotten that feedback as well. I was just curious because I feel like I've definitely evolved a lot over the last 4 years.
I mean, you certainly can. Let me ask you, do you only have your top 5 or do you have all 34?
Well, I'm going to dig into it more. I'm just looking at my top 5.
Yeah. So typically your top 5 doesn't change. Where it can change is if you have something in 6 through 10 and maybe it bumps up. But like the DISC assessment that I was referring to, it takes into account like what your actual is and or like who you naturally are and then where you are right now in whatever current work setting you have.
Okay.
But your Clifton strengths typically do not change. Now, you're always going to find some people who say, mine totally changed. They probably didn't totally change. They only probably changed within the top 10. I've taken it a couple of times and my top 5 are always my top 5.
Interesting.
But,
okay.
I mean, here's the thing. It's $25. So if you want to, you can.
Have you heard of Insights colors, red, blue, green, yellow?
Oh, yeah.
So I've taken that multiple times. And actually, it changes slightly depending on the role that I'm currently in.
Okay. What color are you?
Oh, I lead very heavily with red. But in my last role, it was about a 50-50 split, red, blue. And yellow, actually, even though I have to flex yellow all day long, it is my least, like it's my, it's just like my fourth color. It's so small. I can't even think of the words right now, but yeah, it's really small.
Yeah. What are your top 5 right now from the 2020?
For Clifton?
Yeah.
Restorative, command, deliberative, strategic, and significance.
Yeah. Okay. Yours are probably not going to change, especially if you have significance and command in your top 5. I mean, they might, but you sound, yeah. And if you're a red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to schedule a call with you. We're going to talk more.
Well, I would love that.
You can coach a coach.
Oh, I've coached many coaches. It's funny that Naomi was talking about Dave Metzler because the reason I know him is because happy anniversary, Caitlin, have fun at dinner. Because he coached one of my former coaches who was a disaster, but I'm not going to tell you him because he has a New York Times bestseller and that would be awkward. But yeah. Amor, what's up, lady? Or Sabrina, did I answer all of that?
You did. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to schedule time with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I just had a question because I know we were talking about resetting and all of that. And a couple of things that you talked about in that is like doing what you really want to do.
Yeah.
So I just was wondering, like, what would you say are next steps if you're like, hey, I'm not doing what I really want to do? Besides, of course, joining your coaching program. But I was just wondering if there are some steps for us to think about in that.
Yeah. So I will say, depending on where you are, and like I'll use Cheryl for an example. Um, Before you make drastic changes, I like to call it pulling on the string. I truly believe that there are lots of different strings all around you, and we call these opportunities, right? And sometimes you just have to pull one to see, like you have to take a step towards those things. So tell me what you're doing now.
So I'm doing wholesaling right now.
Okay.
I
And how's
also have a
that going?
full-time job, so
And you have
I'm
a
trying to.
full-time job. Okay.
Mhm.
How is that going? How's the wholesaling going?
It's actually been going okay. It's just not ultimately what I want to do. It's
Yeah,
just I was trying to figure out a way to kind of stack some cash so that I can do ultimately what I want to do.
sure. And what do you ultimately want to do?
I want to create like co-living properties for women who have been in abusive relationships and stuff like that. So like that's my ultimate dream.
Yeah. Okay, so you need to meet Alicia because she also wants to do that. So here's the thing that I believe when it comes to doing the things that we think we should do, right? Because you want to stack cash. I'm not saying that's wrong. I totally get it. It's a different thing when you have cash and you need cash, right? Um, but you also have to start pulling the other string. You have to start having the conversations because the things that we should do are the things that we do that don't actually get our best energy. They
Right.
don't actually fill us up the most. So we don't, and why do I care about that? Because you don't show up with the energy that you need to.
Good. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Versus if we started working on your plan to build these, look at your face. Do you see yourself right now?
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, when people talk about vibrations and frequency and all that woo woo stuff, like, it matters,
Yeah.
right? Quantum physics, all of it matters, whatever you want to call it, right? So, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't tell the story, but like, when I got in this, my husband said, come raise private money for me. Y'all, I know how to raise money. I know how to lead teams to raise money. I've raised $35 million, and this was all before 2015. So, like in today's world, that would be like $75, right? $75 million.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. It does not fill my cup.
Right.
You know what fills my cup? Hosting calls on a Monday night, which is why I did it for free for 2 years because I love it. And I come with a different energy. And so, again, I'm not saying that if you have something that you're like, well, I really have to do this because it's just the time and the place, amazing, that's wonderful. If you have to do it because it's the time and place, but we still need to have a plan for you to get where you want to go.
Got it. Yeah.
So start pulling the strings.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, ladies? Anastasia, learner, focus, achiever, command, and activator. This also makes sense to me, given what you're trying to do, building your finance business. Yeah. Um, Fonda, thank you, lady. So you might see on here, Fonda said it's called the All Access Mastermind. That's what we called it before. We just renamed it to the method. So some of us still refer to it as All Access. Like I did that earlier today. Because that's what we called it for. Girl, you're totally fine. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Any other questions? All right. If you've booked a call with me, thank you so much. It's going to be great. There will be no pressure. If you didn't, that is totally okay too. Here's the thing that I'm going to leave you with. There is only one you. There will ever only be one you. So the one and only you is destined for greatness. But part of the way that you get to the greatness is by getting and saying exactly what you want and then going after it. So if you've learned nothing else on this call tonight, I want you to be able to claim what it is that you want, not what you think you should. Step into your power and your confidence and find your who's. All right, ladies. Bye.